And so what I do is I look at that fear and greed index, and whenever I see it in the tens, I am loading up. Like, and again, I waited to this point to start to load up, and I still keep dry powder. I remember Ben saying one day, he said, I went all in because I had to. I did the same thing. 5 years ago, I went all in. Now I don't have to go all in, so I don't go all in. At the same, you keep dry powder and you just keep accumulating BTC. That's how you can take 30 grand and turn it into 25 million in the next 8 years. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
these are the times. These are the times. Like,
it's definitely possible. Yeah, it's exciting to think about where we're at right now. Like, people don't understand unless you've been through probably 2 full cycles. You don't understand the opportunity that these bear markets bring around, and you can't stare a gift horse in the mouth. And when you're looking at a $30,000 Bitcoin where we're at right now, regardless if it goes to 17,000, this is still a great price point to I believe start accumulating. What do you think?
Amazing. Like, I'm with you 100% because I looked at this last time when we were ran to 30K, and I actually longed a huge trade there, and I said, listen, we go to 15K, I lose 50% of my investment. I've been trading 15 years. You know how many times I've been down 50%?
Yeah.
I can do that. Like, that's okay. Like, I can do that in my sleep. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, all right, well, where's the upside? I mean, 100K, 3Xing. So you're telling me I have to risk 50 to gain 300%? That's a no-brainer to me. Yeah. And that everyone watching right now, like he said, everyone feels like they got in late into crypto. I got in late, I saw a guy on the streets in New York. He told me about Ethereum at $9. I didn't buy it till it was 89. And I felt like a complete idiot. I was like, I just completely missed the 10X. I'm a fool. We all feel late in this game. The idea is to get yourself established, get yourself educated, find out where you stand in the cycle. And that's where you're going to really begin to flourish in crypto,
Man, I couldn't have said that any better myself. I think that people have to understand, like, look, I've been in crypto for a long time. If I did it, if Crypto Lifer did it, you can certainly do it. We're just normal guys, come from rough backgrounds, and we made it here, and you can definitely do it too.
He said something inspirational right there. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he said two cycles, you can turn $30,000 into 25 million, and I agree with that 100%. We've seen it happen. So if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know. I don't know what does. That's the opportunity of a lifetime. Right
it really is. And the thing is why a lot of people, they hear it, but they don't. It's because you hear the opportunity, but you're still having to project yourself 4 to 8 years in the future, and you're struggling right now. A lot of us have been there. You just got to power through these times, and you got to do whatever you can do to survive and provide for your family until you get to that place, because that place does exist, and I will tell you, it is a very worthwhile.
Translated into excitement. I would much rather choose to be excited about this drop right now than anxious about it, because I've been in cryptocurrency for almost 5 years. Here in about 2 months, I will have been in crypto for 5 years, under 2 months, and I'm really telling you from experience that whenever Bitcoin drops the way that it did over the last 5 days, it's not something that you need to freak out about. Let me just give you some examples and show you some of the things that I've lived through in cryptocurrency. We have dropped 17% in the last 4 days. In the last, let's see here, 41 days, we've dropped 31.87%. That's pretty rough considering from all-time high, we're down 52%. So that's pretty bad, right? We've dropped 50% in 181 days. Well, I remember just a little over 2 years ago when I watched Bitcoin drop 50% in a day. That's right. This time it took 181 days. Back then, it took 24 hours. And the reason that that happened was because of a massive fundamental shift that took place outside of the Bitcoin market that scared people inside of the Bitcoin market, so therefore had an impact on the Bitcoin market. Am I here to tell you that we should be thankful for this drop? I absolutely am. That's exactly what I'm saying. But what I am here to say is that for everyone who is set up the way that they should be in crypto, i.e. they have money on the sidelines to try and invest more if they so choose to. If you're in that position, if you're set up in the position that we consistently teach about, this is a big opportunity, because this entire show is going to show you exactly why the bottom for Bitcoin is close. But let's start with the mindset. What is the mindset that somebody should go into a major market correction like this?
Everybody's gut right now in the market is going, oh gosh. You're sitting here going, oh gosh, what the heck? Those are the moments that you are going to have the greatest potential. And I'm not going to sit here and promise the bottom is in. Again, I'm going to go on record and say, I'm going to stick to my original guns and say 32 is what I'm saying. It could go down to 30. Even if you're looking at those charts that I know Kelly showed us last week, 28, 29 are still very much on the table. There's this dynamic. We talked about it a couple times. You do want to operate by your gut, but you also want to know how to read your gut. And right now, this pain that's in your gut right now is actually a good thing, even though it hurts. You got to learn how to read it correctly and respond correctly. And if you're prepared for this, then you're still in a great spot.
I'm here to tell you that normally, not all the time, but normally when you see a major drop like this towards the end of a correction, because I am going to say that we're towards the end of the correction, maybe not time-wise, but more than likely price-wise, we are probably getting towards the bottom in price. Now, I'm not here to tell you right now how long we can stay down here. That's for a different conversation, but I do think we're getting close to the bottom. 28, 29 is possible, but I think we're close to the bottom. I'm here to tell you that when you get close to the bottom and you see a major drop like this, it's normally a sign that you are seeing the final weak hands getting shaken out. Because if you start to see Bitcoin drop down to $28,000, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have Michael Saylor come up with $500 million and he's going to buy Bitcoin. You're going to find Do Kwon over at Terra Luna, the Luna Foundation, come up with $1 billion and buy Bitcoin. You're going to start to see the smart money buying. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that right now, Lux Algo is telling us that we're getting very close to the bottom in price. That doesn't mean that we're very close to the bottom in time. We could be another 2-3 months trading sideways. It might be July before we start rallying. But what I am saying is that I think we're getting pretty close to the price. I could see us dropping as low as 28, but I think the bears would have to fight very, very hard for that. Another reason I believe the bottom is close has to do with something called the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index is a very powerful technical indicator. Whenever fear and greed is very low, let's look at last year. Let's just take a look at whenever fear and greed gets down to 11 like it did. I dare you, go back and look at the history of whenever fear and greed got down to 11 or 12 or 13. What happened? January 23rd of this year was the last time we hit 11. By the way, fear and greed index has only been to 10 in the last, well, year. It has not gone below 10 at all. It's at 11 right now. It has bottomed out entirely. January 23rd, what day was that? Well, January 23rd was the exact day that we bottomed out at $33,000. In fact, the next day we hit the bottom. The point is, with where fear and greed index is right now, is not only calling that we're close to the bottom, it's actually saying that we have hit the bottom, or it's going to be hit within 24 hours. I know what you might be saying, oh, Jebb, that's only one data point. Let's look at some more data. Is that the last 3 times, the time before that being the 21st of July, 2021, that was right back over here on the exact day that we bottomed out. Whenever you hit 10 or 11 on fear and greed, that normally means that literally that day or within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, then you're going to hit the bottom. I argue that you're going to see a green candlestick of at least 5% to the upside within the next 72 hours. That's what I would say. Tim, do you have any final thoughts to say before we wrap the stream out here in a couple of minutes?
I just want to remind everyone, this is the time where you make money. And it might not feel that way right now, but in hindsight, when we see these kinds of dips, these are the times where people make money. And it's not, I can't promise you that this is the final one, but if you do your research and you continue to keep your emotions out of it and you invest wisely, you will reap the rewards down the road.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.